I don't need notes. I have sadness and anger.
I don't need notes. I finished watching the movie like an hour ago.
I watched the movie last night with a heating pad on my neck, desperately trying to stay awake, not because of the movie. I could have fallen asleep during Revenge of the Sith and just been like, well, I guess I have to rewatch it again, but
I
have
did
to rewatch
half
part of
fall asleep during this movie.
Our favorite one!
Mm-hmm. I'm not happy.
Hello and welcome to Star Wars Every Week Forever, the podcast in which we watch one Star Wars movie every week forever. This week, Revenge of the Sith.
Hey.
Woohoo. Ben, how was your watch?
I am tired and miserable, and I wish Star Wars... I wish Star Wars didn't exist.
I feel the same, actually.
I am at a surprisingly, remarkably low standpoint with Star Wars this week.
How much Lego Star Wars have you played this week?
Not a lot.
So like 10 hours?
Like, maybe 2.
Okay.
And then I'm just like, you know what? This ain't it right now, Chief.
Chris, how's your watch?
Better than last week. This movie doesn't feel as long. And everybody in it seems to be as bored as I am watching it. So we can commiserate.
Go into a little bit more detail on the board part, because, you know, I don't know what it is about this week, but it feels like fresh perspective.
Every fight scene, if you like kind of blur out the lightsabers, it's just kind of a it's over. They're just so laconic, you know. There's just no vivaciousness, no need to be there. They're just kind of there.
You will not insult the duel in this movie that involves pirate swinging. I will not have it. I will not have it.
Dull as dishwater.
No.
I would rather wash the dishes than watch those scenes.
Chris is here this week with the hot
Chris
takes.
is at a low point. Low point, Chris. Extremely.
And I still enjoyed it better than the last one.
Oh.
That's still not saying a whole heck of a lot, though.
But I've also been up since 2 a.m., so...
Ooh.
That'll do it. That'll definitely do it.
Yikes,
Yeah,
everything all right?
Cats were sick last night, so...
Oh. No.
So we was up early. Now I can see time. Because we compensate with caffeine.
If you can see time, can you just rush us along, like, away from having to deal with all this bullshit?
Yeah, okay, quick wrap up. Nobody likes this movie, but it is less offensive than most of the other movies. And one day, everyone involved in this podcast will die, and the best part about it was they'll never have to watch Star Wars again.
You make a great point. You know, that your ability to see time right now really solidifies the experience of the podcast. What Chris just said embodies my watch. I listened to the audio commentary. I remembered a time where I wasn't in my house, but I was in Ben's house. I was in that moment while laying on my bed with a heating pad on my neck, and that was the best part, the audio commentary. I give a fuck less about the movie.
Ben, whatever you're drinking is a color not found in nature.
No, it's not.
What are you drinking?
It's a weird Mountain Dew flavor I found at the store the other day, and I regret everything.
Do we want to start the podcast off with a hot take? I fucking hate Mountain Dew. I hate it.
No,
I
Jim.
hate Mountain Dew. I hate Mountain Dew
That's
with
not
all
that
my
hot
heart
of a
and soul.
take.
I hate it. I hate it.
That's right. At work today, I had to drink something made with hibiscus and ginger, so...
I'll drink anything ginger. I am
Apparently.
for ginger.
It tastes like Christmas. Like hibiscus and ginger tastes like Christmas.
I'd like to start the show off So let me paint a picture. Multiple times throughout this last rotation, while I was making the show, I would just leave notes for myself in the future for future episodes that I didn't get across because I was watching the movie while editing. So I opened my notes for I keep like Google Docs for each watch. And I was gifted by Past Jay with something truly delightful that I have to show. Now, I don't know where the original image for this came from, so I'm going to have to show you a screenshot of what I had. But is a still from the movie that I just, when I saw it, I laughed and laughed and laughed at.
I feel the need. I feel compelled to bring up something I get harassed about frequently.
What is that?
So Jay, what you're telling me is you're bringing up a visual gag.
Well, here's
Star
okay.
Wars
If you want to go there, Ben,
podcast.
here's the difference between what I'm doing and what you usually do. You're doing movements and expecting us to explain them for you. When I bring up a visual thing, I say, "Here's the thing. Why don't you all explain it to the podcast listeners?"
No.
And alternatively, these same people can go to the YouTube copy and go, "Oh, that's what they're talking about." Sir.
Ma'am.
Anyway, here it is. If you would explain it, please.
That's a guy getting stabbed.
Look closer.
Yep, it's straight through him.
Nope. Look closer.
Nope, I refuse.
Look closer. Specifically at the face.
It's real bad CGI is what it is.
Yes. So in this image, it is Palpatine killing a Zabrak who has a disturbingly peaceful face. But because of the way the CGI is, he looks like Ebenezer Scrooge. Palpatine looks exactly like Ebenezer Scrooge. Just exactly like Ebenezer Scrooge.
Yeah, and the Zabrak Jedi looks like he's orgasming.
He does. He does look like he's orgasming.
Now, if you had seen Our Flag Means Death, this scene now becomes really funny.
Why?
Because they have a scene where Blackbeard is showing Steed how to take a sword through the gut without dying, and it's very pornographic.
I see.
And I'm like, oh, it's that scene. This must be where they got their inspiration.
Specifically, this one frame where they were so uninterested in making this frame memorable that they didn't complete the CGI of Palpatine's face was the inspiration for Our Flag Means Death. This show that you have talked about that I thought was a podcast until yesterday.
No, it's the good gay pirate stuff.
You have sent me the good gay pirate stuff before, though.
I am very fond of the good gay pirate stuff.
I am.
That stuff was particularly good. There were so many puns in there.
Yes, there were.
I need this show in my life.
But yeah, that was I opened that and I looked at Palpatine's face and at the Zabrak's face and I laughed and I laughed and I laughed. I'm just imagining Ian McDiarmid confronting the ghost of Christmas past, present, and future, and it made me so happy.
Specifically Palpatine.
Yes, well, look at his face. He looks exactly like Ebenezer Scrooge. So yes, specifically Palpatine.
It gets like so big because I'm using the for some reason on my computer it'll only get so big.
I wonder if I have it on this computer. No, I don't.
Anyway, yeah, fucking. You must be. What's the? There's more of gravy to you than the grave of you. I went pirate. You both have turned me into pirate Palpatine.
No. This screenshot you shared with us, Jay, just reminds me that watching this particular movie on the mouse app, all the CGI in it just looks like the discount version of the Clone Wars.
Whoa, hold on. I will contest this fact because Clone Wars, Clone Wars, great show, whatever. The way people look in that show is fucking horrid.
Nope, better than most of the CGI in this movie.
The strip bacon man is better than what...
At least it's consistent. This movie can't decide whether it wants to hire good artists or not.
I'm with Chris on this one.
Nope, I don't accept this.
Yeah, it looks like they hired like one good guy who like was really good at his job, and then like 17 toddlers with crayons.
Jay, you also stopped watching Clone Wars before the CGI started to get really like decent and good.
And I will never watch any more of it.
Which is fair, because there is so much of it.
And so little time left in my life for Star Wars. It also feels like this conversation has come full circle because Ben and I, we met through an offshoot Ebenezer Scrooge play.
That is true.
That is true. I just realized that while we were talking about it.
That fateful day the stars aligned in order to create the future that would be this podcast.
Ooh, new podcast lore dropping, guys. Hang on to your butts.
Hang on to your butts.
But all yeah, right. I just.
What roles were you playing?
I was.
It was a weird spin-off because it wasn't actually Ebenezer Scrooge. It was a version of the show where everyone is mistaking just some random guy for Ebenezer Scrooge. So I actually got the lead in that show. It's the only time I've ever had a lead. And then Ben was the roommate, along with a couple of other smaller roles, if I remember correctly.
Like some side roles, but I don't. Yeah. I honestly don't even remember what all they were. I just remember the roommate bit.
You were the roommate, and then you were also whose life I generally made a living hell.
Oh yeah, like he had plans to go out and meet like his family that he missed the flight on because he was left up all night from the screaming and everything.
Yes. Also in the show, I gave my girlfriend from the show a trash can for Christmas, and that was really funny, and I enjoyed that scene quite a lot.
Who actually at one point became my girlfriend in real life.
That is true. That is also true.
I had an ex give me a garbage can for a gift one year because we needed a new one.
The prophecy must be fulfilled.
The prophecy must be fulfilled.
Ben, try as I might, I don't think I can be your girlfriend.
I don't think that's how that works.
I meant I must go haunt Chris.
I like that. We can go with that.
Not specifically, but the way that all of the stories intertwined in some way was very funny.
It's just layers.
So Star Wars Episode 3, Revenge of the Sith.
No.
Oh, do we have to?
Unfortunately.
I guess that's the point of the podcast, isn't it?
I got so unbelievably mad about having to watch this movie this week for some reason. I just sat down last night and I was like, God damn, gotta watch this fucking Star Wars movie. I do this every week, watch a goddamn Star Wars movie. I don't know why I still fucking do this, but it's because I love it here. But fuck Star Wars.
It's because you signed an Eldritch Pact with the 4 Horsemen of the Apocalypse and we're stuck here.
The pact, yeah.
Wonder if I change my name if the pact still holds.
I mean, I already did that.
Oh yeah, that's true. You
could
have got out. You could have got out, Jay. Your name wasn't in blood. It wasn't your name anymore. You killed that boy and took his place.
Oh! That is the most badass description of transitioning I've ever heard in my life.
I stole it from a pop song.
You killed that boy and took his place. Audio commentary note, we talked way too much about Anakin's dick. Just way too much. Way too much.
Never enough.
Just way too much.
Never
okay.
enough.
No. So, Ben.
I will die on this hill.
Please explain.
Hayden Christensen is a gorgeous man.
Ew.
I knew.
Listen, I have a type, and that type is edgy white boys.
He does wear a significantly larger amount of eyeliner in this one.
It is true.
And it does improve the look. I'm not sure if the yellow contacts do. Like, clearly he's having some kind of reaction to them. He's got all that red and swelling. Maybe he should try a different brand.
This movie, I suffered through this movie this week. And usually this one, like Jason, usually this is a favorite of ours. But just this week, for some reason, I could not bring myself to do it. I got to order 66, and I had to get up and just, like, do 10 laps around my apartment and sit back down.
I have read so much Star Wars fanfic in the last week that Order 66, just hearing the words makes me sad.
Why? What specifically spreading this on?
Last week?
Well, there was last week, and there was, like, just trying to fill the gaps in the story between how they got from, hey, look, the bad guys made an army and put our name on it, to, yeah, we're just going to use the army. I didn't want to watch all of Clone Wars again, so I was like, I'll just read some fanfic that covers the topic. That'll be a solution.
Oh my God.
That's a great. It's
It
not
was
like
amazing. There is some great stuff out there. I'm not sure it's all accurate.
Well, that's the thing. Like, I don't think accurate is something that you can describe most fanfic as.
But there's so many stories about, like, Plo Koon and his stormtrooper little squad, or his clone trooper little squad, being like just like dadding his boys out, and then
Close bros.
Then you got to see them killed, and I'm just like, yeah, you know, that goes right to the heart, man.
They had a little bit of that in the Clone Wars too, because like Plo was probably like the Jedi who was best to his soldiers.
Yeah, I'm not comfortable with the way the Jedi treated the clones, and
it was awful.
And like, if you look at the way they treated them, it's like, well, no wonder nobody gave a shit that they killed you. They're like, yeah, I get to finally shoot this. It's like when you work at a minimum wage retail store, and like one day somebody came in and said, I'm from the government. Today you're allowed to murder the manager. And you were like, yes.
Chris, is there something you'd like to talk about?
Too many years in retail, man. Too many years. I served my time. I'm just saying.
Never going back.
There were some positions where if the government walked in one day and was like, today, you are allowed to kill the manager if you would like to.
You have a license to kill.
I wouldn't need a chip in the back of my head going, kill him, kill him, kill him. I would have been like, yeah, this guy, right now, today.
Chris crawled through 6 miles of shit.
Also, we all know that, like, Tamura Morrison is the most attractive man in the film, so seeing him murder people over and over and over again is always fun.
Tamara Morrison is exactly your type.
Yes.
You have a specific type, and Tamara Morrison falls into it.
It does. They just need arms big enough to hug you, you know?
Crush you, specifically, I think, is the type. Like,
wouldn't you just like the weight of the universe to be, like, pushed aside by 2 strong, meaty man arms?
No, that gives me a panic attack.
Yeah.
Which is why, clearly, I'm not into twinks.
There are 2 ends of the spectrum, and they are Chris and Ben.
Yes.
While we're on the note of the audio commentary, I would like to make a public apology to the audience. I failed you. I failed you, and I don't know how I'll ever make it up to you, but I figure at the very least I can say it now and just get it out there so that in some way we're covering it. When Chris revealed that he thought Coyote Mundy's name was pronounced Coyote Monday, I had about 17 chances at Coyote Ugly jokes, and I missed every single one, and I will spend the rest of my life trying to make up for that mistake. I apologize to you sincerely and utterly, and I'll try to do better.
I'm not sure anybody's really sad about missing a Coyote Ugly joke. If I could have
I am.
not watched that movie in my life, it would have been a better life.
I don't care necessarily for the movie. I think it's well done, but I don't necessarily like it. But it was a big thing around my house growing up. Everybody in my house except my dad loved that movie because I don't know. But I had so many jokes right before me and I didn't make a single one.
You say stories like this, and then I'm like, and it took you how long to figure out you were trans?
I didn't include myself among the coyote ugly lovers in the house. I did not. I was off in a corner watching Big Fish 17,000 times. Or Star Wars 17,000 times.
Okay, you do know Big Fish is a worse red light. Like a bigger, like, hey, surprise. If you
I
like
don't know,
Big Fish, you're going to be some kind of queer.
I always considered that, hey, that's a very deeply complicated relationship with your dad red flag rather than a trans red flag.
I think it's more queer than trans, but generally speaking, it's part of
I
the
don't
queer experience is like identifying strongly with Big Fish for about 2 to 5 years in your transitional time.
Yeah, it's not like it's still my favorite movie of all time or something. No, definitely not.
Oh no, oh.
I haven't watched it in several many years, but
I would give it another watch.
probably uncomfortable now, isn't it?
I have tried to rewatch so many things that I used to like, and it just goes badly.
Hi, welcome to Big Fish every week, forever the podcast.
I'm just sitting here learning about all these movies that I need to watch.
Ewan McGregor stars in Big Fish.
Yeah,
That's probably a big reason why I love it.
probably.
We're all sitting here about the objective attractionness of Hayden Christensen, and I clearly do not.
I
prefer
never
it.
said that was objective.
I did.
Okay.
It's objective in and of the fact that I don't agree with you, and neither does Chris in any way, shape, or form.
I would say it's objectional, even.
Yes. Debatable.
Questionable.
Just hand in my pan ID because apparently I'm not allowed to have taste in men.
No, we didn't say you're not allowed to like men, but you clearly are lacking us a little bit of taste, a smidge, just a smidge.
Just fucking going in on Ben for no reason for a strangely popular belief.
Okay, you know what? This has been a lot of riffing on Ben. You're going. Where would you put a pod race in this movie?
Kill me.
Hear me out.
No.
Okay.
I've never wanted to do anything less than hear you out right now.
The penultimate duel between Obi-Wan and Anakin takes place in Beggar's Canyon.
Fuck off.
On Tatooine.
Fuck off. We've already pitched this for the Luke and Vader ending. We've already pitched this for the Luke and Vader ending. The least you can do is come up with something new if we're gonna do this.
All right. When they're crash landing the ship in the very beginning.
Okay.
They crash in a pod racing ring.
Oh, that would actually be so cool.
The underground pod racing ring that Anakin frequented.
We already saw that in Attack of the Clones, though.
It's just on a TV.
No. Like the actual pod racing ring from the Rogue Planet novel that I brought up a few times about the pod racing ring on Coruscant.
Yeah.
Goes through the area where those outside electrical vents are that they fly through.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. They crash there.
No, fucking hate this. If you're gonna do it, at least do it on Mustafar, where you can do Jack and Daxter fucking style jump, so that the pod race isn't burning up over the magma. Like at least make this.
But see, if there had been a pod race on Mustafar, Anakin would have been like, "Sorry, Obi-Wan, I have to fight you later because I gotta get in on this race because these guys don't know what they're doing." And then we wouldn't have had Darth Vader.
Anakin's fall is completed by the fact that he's not allowed to participate in the pod race because he's too busy killing the Separatist leaders and fighting Obi-Wan.
It would be a better ending than his, like, sad, crispy inchworm.
Sad, crispy inchworm!
That
Just
is a good
scooch-
description.
That's so good.
That's what he looks like.
Can we just talk about, like, I don't know where you were going with it, Ben, but considering it's probably back to pod racing, I'm going to talk over you like an asshole.
No, I was just gonna say he's so angry at the end, and I know that's the point, but he's like so
I mean, it's
angry.
probably, it might, yeah, I wonder why Anakin is angry while he's being lit on fire by the nearby
I don't
magma.
get it.
I don't get it. He's being burned alive. Why is he so angry? He's being left in the magma by the guy who raised him. I don't understand why, he's angry. It's the one time in his entire life where he was justified for being angry. Don't get me wrong, he put himself in that position and he deserved to die. But that's the only time in all the saga where I can understand why he was angry. Do I agree with why he's angry? No, because he should have fucking died there. But no, I understand while you're being lit aflame why you're angry.
He's just.
You were my brother. I can't kill you. I can cut off 90% of your limbs, though.
And kind of leave you for dead.
It's the first Nolan Batman movie where he's just like, I won't kill you, but I'll leave you on this train to blast apart into a fucking wall in a second. That's literally what Obi-Wan does. Just like, I won't kill you, but you can burn to death really slowly.
It's
Also,
like, dude,
I'm gonna
it would have
take
been so much kinder to just murder him. Like, honestly, the only thing he could have done to make that, like, a worse way to leave your former best friend is if he had leaned in close and been like, oh yeah, I'm gonna go fuck your wife.
Which happened, I believe. I really believe Obi-Wan and Padme slept together at some point. I believe it. If there's a
don't.
tale-
I think her taste isn't good enough for her to sleep with Obi-Wan. Also, did you like? I don't know. Maybe it's just because I watched the Clone Wars cartoons. The prime grade ladies who threw themselves at Obi-Wan constantly.
Oh yeah.
Didn't he date like a pirate queen or something?
Oh.
He dated a Mandalorian queen.
Same thing.
Nah, they were the new Mandalorians who were like super like passionate.
Oh, I hate that
peaceful.
lore. I hate that lore so much.
I was really against it at first, but then I watched the actual episodes and I didn't really mind it. There was a decent amount of like political intrigue involved in it and everything too. And then she gets murdered before his eyes by Darth Maul, and you're like, this is a children's show.
Her children.
Dave Filoni's children's show. No war crimes to be seen.
Oh. Good
Yeah,
stuff.
but the whole Clone Wars, poor Obi-Wan's getting his fucking heart ripped out between Anakin and fucking.
I still
Yeah.
have to.
I can't
And then
remember
you're
her
like-
name for the life.
Then you're like, man, Annie, one chick disagreed with you after you confessed to murdering children, and you were like, everyone's betraying me. And Obi-Wan gets his heart broke every other week, and he's like, guess I'm still a Jedi, though. Also, like, how did he expect that conversation to go? Like, I know you're just about to be a mom, but I murdered all these children, and I need you to get cool with that real quick.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
Anakin doesn't even fucking hesitate before he chokes her. Like, he doesn't fucking. It's the most violent fucking action that could have happened in that moment, and he just does it suddenly.
Right?
Without,
like, he's so
like, there's
angry.
no hesitation, and he holds on to it.
It is the first and only time in that entire movie that Anakin is scary.
Yeah.
I don't know, the child murder kind of gets a little scary.
No. Child murder is just like a wussy incel thing. Like, whatever, I expect that from little white boy who always gets his way.
I know, I'm saying if someone's willing to murder children, I'm not gonna wanna. No.
Yeah, but it's not necessarily frightening because, like, they're not like, he has no emotional connection to them or something, but this is supposed to be the love of his life, the woman he went to the dark side for, and, like, the second she disagrees with him about, like, this anything for, like, 5 seconds, he's like, I could just choke you to death right here with my children inside you.
Yep.
That to me was the first time he was scary.
It is a horrifying scene. Obi-Wan's just at the top of the ramp, just like, let her go. What the fuck are you doing?
But also
I
Obi-Wan
love that from Obi-Wan though. Like, he's like, you could like, I don't know, throw a lightsaber at hell, throw a rock at his goddamn head or something. Not just stand there like, let her go, Anakin, no. It's like, dude,
yeah,
interfere physically.
Obi-Wan does like fuck all. He like Padme gets choked out. He like fucking strolls over to check her pulse, and he's like, "All right, here's a heartbeat. I can fucking fight this guy." Like Obi-Wan.
Anakin could have snapped her neck in the time it took Obi-Wan to do anything.
Instead, he just stands there to fucking mansplain to him about how he's a piece of shit. Like, yeah, Anakin's aware he's a piece of shit by now, dude.
I don't think anyone misunderstands the shittiness of the dude.
I don't think Anakin is aware that he's a piece of shit. I genuinely don't think that. I think he thinks that he's done everything perfectly right at that point. I don't think it's until after he gets into the Vader suit where he's like, oh, fuck. No, I really think he's just like, nope, I did everything that was necessary.
No,
it was comfortable, but it was necessary.
Because once he kills all the Separatist leaders on Mustafar, he's fucking crying.
He's an incel, of course he's crying.
You got me there.
But also, like, if he did all of that to stop Padme from dying, why is his first angry reaction to try to murder her? It's like, dude, like...
Because he's so angry.
Yeah, but, like, if you're gonna grab somebody by the Force throat, like why not Obi-Wan?
The throat given to you by the Force.
You know what, bitch?
I'm sorry.
Oh my god.
I do it to everybody on the show. I'm sorry. People will do it to me. I'm sorry.
If I could force choke you right now, I wouldn't because I'm not a fucking incel.
What if I ask nicely?
No, stop.
Well,
Enough.
if you ask nicely, I will remind you that you are a child. You are our child, and we will not do so.
Yes,
sir. I am.
We are both in our 30s. Comparatively, you are a small babe fresh from the teat.
Did you have to phrase it that way?
I regretted it as it came out of my mouth.
I mean, if anyone's allowed to, it's my mother. So
yeah, true. So, Chris saying with a full mouth of food, no, if you're a dumb corporation who wants to advertise with us, contact us. It is one of my favorite moments in the history of the podcast because I think it matches our business model so much.
It perfectly encapsulates our outlook on capitalism as a whole.
And then afterwards, we was just saying, we love capitalism. Ben definitely doesn't have the Communist Manifesto on his desk right now. We love capitalism.
Shush. Be on to me. We feds here in a minute.
No, you know what? Even the feds have got to be tired of Star Wars by this point.
It's true. I think they're more worried about me and my many PNGs of Barack Obama. My many PNGs of Barack Obama. I have like 13 on an external hard drive, and that feels like something the government is just like, what the fuck is going on here?
There are so many dumb things that have emerged from this podcast, but definitely top of the list is Jay's cache of Obama PNGs.
I've kept everything I've used to make something on the podcast. I have all of it. All of it. I have all of it.
It's probably a very concerning collection.
Yes. Yes, it is.
Where exactly did we go this far off the rails?
I'm going to go rotation 2, episode 8.
That's an extremely specific answer, but you're also exactly right because that's the first episode where I remember very specifically, that's the first episode I made a Photoshop for. It was the first episode. Because that's when I put Dexter from Dexter's Lab into Palpatine's mini Snoke.
Oh my god.
Room.
Man, did I nail it?
Wait, no. That was the next episode. In the episode that you just described, I made the burning hammer image. So yes, you nailed it. Exactly.
Oh, that's harsh.
Wait, was the burning hammer before the Tesla in space?
Way before, a rotation
Okay.
and a half before. The Tesla, my waking nightmare, the Tesla in space started at an episode 1, I think, rotation 3.
Friendly reminder, fuck Elon Musk.
Fuck Elon Musk.
My only consolation is he's not really more evil than the people who already own Twitter.
No, but I'm afraid of him more.
I don't know
Why?
about that.
There's only
Fear is a
one of
strong
him,
word.
and when it's only one person instead of corporation, you can find them and eat them. But also, someone I follow on Twitter made a very hilarious joke this week about if the replicator food in Star Trek is technically all vegan because it's never been a person, and they have people's identification for the transporter codes. Could you replicate a person and eat it, and would it still be considered cannibalism, or would it just be vegan?
Isn't that just the episode where Data dreams about Deanna Troi being a cake? Is that the physical manifestation of that?
Yeah, but I think the end of the joke was, if you had a replicator and made Elon Musk and ate him, is it still cannibalism?
I don't know if any of this could be in the episode.
Would it? Is it locally sourced?
No. In Star Trek,
I know.
specifically in Next Generation, it's replicated, so none of it is. It's all made by the replicator, so none of it is. If by locally sourced you mean printed out like 3D
Like a 3D
printer, then
printer.
yes.
So wait. Could you replicate
This is just the Star Trek rotation.
It really is. This is our Star Trek arc.
Oh my
But,
god, I
like,
just had a horrible mental image of someone using a 3D printer to make themselves an Elon Musk sex doll.
All right, moving on. So
Just,
I would
did you know that's where my brain ended?
Great, terrific. I'm glad your brain went down that path and you had to drag us with you. I am appreciative and horrified.
I think I literally just had my brain reboot. Like, I'm not even kidding. I straight up hard disassociated for a second after that was stated.
Probably for the best.
Did you, was it out of horror, or were you thinking about the Boss Nass body pillow again?
Okay, we're in my comfort zone.
So I wanted to spend a little bit of time this episode.
Okay.
This is something we discovered last rotation, and we goofed on a bit, but I want to goof on more. It's time to talk about R2-D2's week.
Obi-Wan is really mean to R2-D2 in this movie.
Obi-Wan is a droid
droidist. Yeah.
Yeah. He is the main character of iRobot, except he never learns his lesson. Like, that the entire time.
But yeah, R2-D2's having a hell of a time throughout the entirety of this movie.
So what do you think, after he essentially bears witness to the guy who has been with him for years, murder children and many Jedi? At the very least, if he didn't see him murder children, he saw him murder many, many Jedi. What do you think after Anakin tells him to stay with the ship happens? Do you think it's like, if I don't see it, I don't know? Or do you think he's just peeking in windows like, I have to record this because I have to turn this guy into fucking C-Sec after this?
C-Sec.
No,
I'm pretty sure.
Because
Isn't that the name of the actual, like, Coruscant police?
That's like Mass Effect's police system.
Is it? No, you're right. I apologize.
Luckily for days like this, I have Wikipedia.
Yeah, please do it.
It's just the Coruscant Security Force or Coruscant Police.
Okay.
There was also the Coruscant Guard, who were the clone troops stationed on Coruscant.
And then there's the GAG, which are Jason Solo's private secret police.
Jason Solo.
I always pronounced Jason Solo's name as Jason Solo.
I've seen like a bunch of pronunciations.
Anyway,
Well, I've heard. I haven't seen the pronunciation.
Anyway, do you think that R2D2 just tried to get to see as much as he could, and film as much as he could to collect evidence, or do you think he just like hid behind the ship and was like, I don't need to see anymore. I don't want to be an accessory.
I think he was into it.
R2D2 sees the writing on the wall.
Whoa!
R2D2 sees the writing on the walls. R2D2 knows exactly what's going to happen and knows no matter what he does, he is royally fucked in every situation because he belongs to the person who is now actively creating an oppressive empire.
I think he was into it. He's like, yeah, murder those flesh bags. Less of them, more of us.
R2D2 is just HK-47, but in the galactic era. Or the... Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm technically not wrong.
Oh shit. That's a rumor that we can talk about. Today there's a rumor. It's slightly related in that this is a thing that happens right before the HK-47 era. There's talk right now of it being revealed soon that they're going to do a Tales of the Jedi animated series.
I am so tired of Jedi.
I normally am, but I have a very large soft spot for Tales of the Jedi because I genuinely think that what they did with Ulic Queldroma might be some of the best storytelling that Star Wars ever did.
Yeah, but they're not going to do it that way. They're going to make it fit this new mouse canon.
Yeah, but it happened so long before everything else that nothing that really happens in the mouse canon would affect it.
Yeah, but it happened so long before everything else that they could just be like, so it's basically a blank slate. We can make up whatever we want for it instead.
That's true. I do appreciate you playing to my comic book movie cynicism. It gives me realistic expectations.
I obviously just hopped on Google and looked it up real quick just to get an idea. And the first article I saw was Tales of the Jedi, whatever it is Star Wars' next animated
Fuck
adventure.
you! Alright, motherfucker, I swear to God,
hurt.
ow, my neck. I swear to God, you want to fucking fight? I swear to God, don't fucking talk shit about Tales of the Jedi. That shit is fucking great. How fucking dare you? That shit is some of the top fucking tier fucking Star Wars content that's ever been fucking created, and you can go fuck yourself, whatever that is, motherfucker. You couldn't use Google? Google is a thing that exists that you could have used to make that. Holy shit. Ow.
She's so angry.
She is very angry.
Fucking news article just like, whatever that is. Alright, motherfucker.
No, you don't get our advertising.
First of all, if you are doing a news article, your job is to do the research.
Yes, and we live in 2022. For 2 decades, Google has been your friend. For 5 years before that, you had your buddy Ask Jeeves.
It's not hard to find this information. It's not exactly hidden.
Wikipedia's right there.
Hell, you can find fucking Tales of the Jedi on Wikipedia, never mind Wikipedia.
You go to the right corners of the internet, you can find that shit online that you can read.
You go to the right corners of the internet, you can find drawings of that stuff naked.
If you go to the right corners of the internet, you can find, 7 or 8 chapters of smut based on the Tales of the Jedi.
320,000 words.
So anyway, apparently we found one segment of Star Wars that I'm still very passionate about. That's what we've discovered today.
Once in a while, it's very rare, but we uncover like little corners of the Star Wars old canon that Jay still absolutely adores.
I don't necessarily know if my reaction to that was because of how much I love Tales of the Jedi. It might just be because more how I detest someone who is tasked with writing a news article on anything, and they're just like
whatever
and
the
title
fuck
is
this
just like
is.
whatever the fuck that is. That's what pissed me off. Like they could have been like
they could have done their job.
Sony just announced that they're making a movie with Bad Bunny at the lead about a comic character that has had 2 fucking appearances. I'd still be pissed if an article was just like whoever that is, because like it's not your job. That's not the job that you have. That's like fucking 2008 fucking reviewer thought processes.
Oh my
Wow,
god.
at the end of the article, they're like, it could be based on this comic book from like forever ago.
Jay actually just reminded me. Sorry to like instantly sideline this, but I was when I'm at work, I tend to just like find YouTube videos I can just listen to, so I don't have to pay much attention to them while I'm actually like working. And so today at work, I actually there's a YouTuber I watch / listen to called Eddie Burback.
I know
And-
Eddie. I know of Eddie, yeah.
I adore his content, and he did a video today about how he went to see Morbius 5 days in a row, and I've never found something that made me go, oh, that's a stupid idea, and then immediately go, oh, that's what I do in my free time.
Yeah. Okay. Maybe this is just me desperately trying to save face, but I do consider this at least slightly above seeing Morbius 5 days in a row. I will just slightly. I'm not giving it a large margin for error. I do consider this just slightly above
Seeing Morbius 5 days in a row.
5 days in a row.
I feel really bad. I have this friend at work who keeps trying, like we're trying to become friends because like you got to make friends at work, right?
Right.
And they keep trying to connect with me on like based around new media. So that, you know, I get a lot of questions like, "Hey, did you see the Dumbledore movie?" And I'm like, "I'm sorry,
Nope.
I have to ruin your world. I do not consume media by that person." And then they're like, "Oh, okay. You like comic books? Did you see Morbius?" I'm like, "I also do not watch media by that person."
Well, the best part was a part of his video was like he said like I straight up didn't want to contribute money to this thing because of certain people involved. So I bought a ticket every day to this other movie that I very much enjoy, and then just walked into the Morbius. It was that I forget the exact. It's like Everything Everywhere at Once or something like that I've heard is a great
Everything
movie, but
Everywhere
I
All
haven't
at Once,
seen.
yes.
Yes.
Yeah, I've heard.
He's like, I'd
great
much
things.
rather support that film. So for 5 days, I bought tickets to that movie and then walked into a Morbius theater.
Well,
We used to do that to see R-rated films.
I mean, we're on a Star Wars podcast, and I once went into a midnight premiere of Revenge of the Sith through a back door that I knew of without paying for a ticket. So
Oh my god.
I was in high school. I'm pretty sure I can't get in trouble for that now.
I think the statute of limitations is out on that one.
I'm pretty sure. But yeah, I feel the same way about that possibility as I do the Kotar game. If they just let it be what it is without deciding to fit in new canon, I think it'll be great. I think if the more new canon they start to fit into it, the less it will do. But I feel like it's removed enough. Here's the thing. I'm not opposed to new canon affecting these things, but I feel like at some point you're kind of rewriting them.
Yeah.
So I don't know. We'll see. But I am tentatively interested in that, and I might actually watch that, although I probably won't. It's going to take everything in my power to watch that Obi-Wan show.
I'm almost definitely gonna watch it because I exist to consume Star Wars content, apparently.
Man, we've had an arc with you tonight, buddy.
Yeah.
Well,
And I'm getting ready to do my own like side projects involving science fiction, so that's gonna be fun.
that's different. I don't even consider. Chris and I agree on this. I don't even consider Star Wars to be science fiction. So
No, it's science fantasy.
yeah, it's
Oh,
definitely fantasy. So totally different things.
Yeah,
the creator-
maybe space opera at a push.
Space
Maybe
opera makes sense.
The creator straight up said like, yeah, I wanted to make fairy tales. Like,
But in my fairy tales, the morals go horribly, horribly wrong and prove the opposite point to what I'm actually saying.
It totally goes.
I can make an entire show about balance, and my version of balance is completely destroy one side of the equation.
yeah.
It's like, I think you've misunderstood the word.
Yeah.
It's, you know, it's that Inigo Montoya meme from The Princess Bride.
You keep using the word. I don't think it means what you think it means.
Every time they say balance, that's all I can hear is Mandy Patinkin in the back of my head. Which, not a bad thing, because Mandy Patinkin is a gem, and we should all have him forever.
Yeah.
Agreed.
He was the bad guy in Elmo and Grouchland,
Oh shit! Really?
Yeah.
Hmm.
I found that out quite by accident. Watching my nephew, I'm like, hey, what are you watching? Oh no, great. I sit down. Hey, it's Inigo Montoya with a unibrow. It's good times. Good times. You should watch it.
Yeah.
That movie's a trip. You know what movie I would rather watch than this movie?
This Elmo movie?
This Elmo and Grouchland.
That's fair. There's a lot of bad movies I'd prefer to watch.
Any of them.
I've watched.
You know what the best part of this movie was, though? Anakin's hair was really good in this film.
Which is funny because the first cut of the hair that he had looked fucking horrid. The first concept art? Yeah. Yeah, it was like a mohawk, but it's not a complete mohawk. It goes like to the middle of your head, and then there's a little ponytail that comes out that's like a half an inch long.
That's like, I could see that in like a cyberpunk universe kind of look.
Yeah.
It's the first movie where Anakin's hair was better than Padme's.
Yeah, well, I mean, Padme.
That hairdo she had with the purple dress, awful.
Up until like 3/4 of the way till Attack of the Clones, every hairstyle she has is either fantastic or giving her major spinal damage. Sometimes both at the same time. And then it just goes off the fucking rails at the end of Tatooine.
Yeah, no, the hair with the purple dress, I was just like, man, you're trying your hardest to make this gorgeous woman look unattractive.
I will say,
failed. She's still pretty. She's pretty with horrible hair.
I will say, possibly contentiously, nothing beats the space mullet though.
Yeah, I don't get the space mullet.
I love it. I am here for it. I want to just run my hands through that motherfucker.
You will have to jog my memory on which particular look is the space mullet.
Attack of the Clones. Obi-Wan Kenobi, Attack of the Clones.
Oh, I liked that. I really wanted to do that with my hair, but I was overruled.
Oh.
I don't like the space mullet, but I think it's because I can't divorce it from the idea of not liking it for Alec Guinness Obi-Wan. I don't know why, but I can't divorce the two ideas. Just like the Obi-Wan series coming up. I don't like his hairstyle because I feel like they're not going far enough in that direction. But that's only because it fucks with a part of my brain that's just like canonicity. But it's pretty good. And with that being said, Ben, you want to bring us home with Weird Wikipedia?
It has been many moons.
It's been many moons.
For this the strange bit.
I think this is our least strange bit. We have a lot of strange
bits.
It's got
weird in the name. Very, very exciting article this week.
Oh.
The SU-40 Airspeeder. Ooh.
Can you pod race it?
It was a high-performance sporting craft.
Yeah, it's a land speeder.
Ooh. Speed's comparable to a TIE starfighter? What? How does that work?
Oh my god.
How does that work? Oh, that sounds like a tabletop RPG thing, and it is a tabletop RPG thing. And then there's a canon tab too.
Yep.
I'm gonna guess that when I hit canon, it's gonna be like Rogue One, because Rogue One really liked to use just random tabletop stuff. If it'll ever load.
Lead by example. Which was another Age of Rebellion book.
Yeah.
So no, it's just all random tabletop game fucking shit.
Course.
I'm here for it. So how the fuck do you?
How does a land speeder go as fast as a TIE fighter, though?
Well, it's an air speeder. So
Still,
it's meant to stay in atmosphere, but it moves at the speed of a starfighter.
so like it would be able to fly around the planet in an hour,
Yeah.
and that seems like it's just dangerous to the environment, to a massive extent. And it's the same complaint that I have about light speed skipping, where they're just randomly in fucking atmospheres.
So-
It feels like
So what you're telling me is this thing can possibly move upwards of 746 miles an hour.
nerd.
I googled it,
I know.
but like your body, unless you have some magic sci-fi bullshit in there, which there better be,
I mean,
the,
yeah.
the human body is going
No,
to
it's just an open cockpit.
fucking implode.
Well, how many miles per hour did you say it was?
746.
Which
Well,
would
that-
be
I'm trying to work out math in my head because
yeah.
the SR-71 Blackbird can go 3,540 kilometers an hour.
Okay, well that
So it's not an unreasonable speed at all.
Yeah.
1200 kilometers per hour is the conversion there. So
Yeah, so it's not unreasonable. It's not even
Okay.
close to what we were already at.
okay, never mind. I got checked. That's
Sorry, had to do it.
no, that's
The why is that?
I want to get called out
I-
without being an idiot.
I'm very into the SR-71 Blackbird, and it's the only reason why.
Why?
Conversely, then, why is a TIE fighter so fucking slow?
Right?
Because propulsion in a zero gravity situation is actually a lot more difficult than in atmospheric conditions.
I guess
No,
so.
this
How
is,
dare Star
that-
Wars sci-fi be accurate?
But that's actually the max speed in atmosphere.
But also, it feels like a number someone who's not familiar with how fast aircraft do
It
go.
was somebody
would
was just
pick.
like, put a big number up. I don't give a shit.
Which is a tabletop thing where it's just like, just throw this in here and see what happens. Ben, you want to do
Yeah.
one more?
One more.
Oh my god, that your little airspeeder there is just faster than a Boeing 747.
Never mind. I was way off base on that one. Holy shit.
Yeah, well, I mean, they said TIE fighter. It's like, I assume that would be very fucking fast.
These things are crawling across the screen, apparently.
Wikipedia is just nothing but tabletop game articles. I refuse. I refuse
give
to
it to
believe
us.
that there are
Give it
articles
to
made
us.
about anything else. We got the Laser Hone company that manufactured various models of knives and blades and bladed vibro weapons.
Vibro weapons will never not sound dirty to me.
God damn it,
Extremely
Christopher!
specific kink.
I
Still
love how
savage spirits and gadgets and gear, so it's still just tabletop
I
crap.
love how there will be like two sentences in Legends, and you'll be like, all right, the canon one is almost always shorter. So you're sitting there like, there's no way they can make this short, and you click on it, and there's like 3 words.
Well,
That is only a slight exaggeration.
let's go one more time.
One more time.
One more time around the...
We're really rolling the slots today.
Yeah, if it's as boring as that, we'll just apologize to the audience.
I don't even know what this is. What's happening?
All right, today on Weird Wikipedia, we have the 1-4-16-64 plan.
It's a little unwieldy.
Standard mode of operation for the Republic military during the Clone Wars and for the Imperial military that succeeded it.
Oh. What?
All right, it's basically how the army broke down into components.
Oh. This sounds like fucking real government naming, which is fun. Okay.
Yeah, okay, there were 4 brigade levels, 16 regimental missions, and 64 battalion level operations concurrently on different planets.
Well, I don't know
This is
about
both
you.
extremely boring and extremely, like, I'm kind of curious.
Well, we should have called it a day at the very fast speeder.
The very fast,
The very
not
fast,
exactly
not
that
fast
fast
speeder.
speeder.
Well, this has been
Well, that's a kink.
Skype specifically. What would be the physical manifestation of Skype, Chris?
Would that just be Bill Gates?
It might be Bill Gates.
It might be
No.
Bill Gates.
This has been Star Wars Every Week Forever. Get me the fuck out of this comparison. Love you all. Good night.
We learned a lot about everyone tonight.
Hey, if you enjoyed us, thought we were funny, like our content, or just really love our suffering and want to hear more of it, we're available all over the place and release episodes every Wednesday around 12 Eastern Standard Time. You can find us on Spotify, Amazon Music, TuneIn, Player FM, iHeartRadio, Google Podcasts, and in a unique format over on YouTube that our fans seem to dig. You can join in on the conversation over on Twitter as well, at SWEWF. We're quite active and love to hear from our fans. Sincerely, though, we appreciate you taking the time out of your day to spend with us on this car crash of a ride.